Welcome to this YouTube channel on how to buy businesses no cash down. I'm Colin and I've been buying businesses for almost 25 years, more than 250 deals in 17 countries. This playlist is my 10-step process to buy a business no cash down. Think of it as a deal making robot. Here's the next video in the sequence. There are 7 in total. So now we've programmed our deal robot with our deal specification, it's time to cut through all those 2.6 million businesses and find the 100 or so that match your specification. And before I show you the methods that we use for deal origination, let me tell you about the 3 types of seller. The first on the left is the retiring baby boomer business owner. These are the easiest deals to do and the biggest number, over 80% of the total. The second in the middle is the large corporate that's going to be spinning off unwanted small subsidiaries. And finally, on the right, you've got the investor who's got ownership of many businesses and doesn't have the time or patience to concentrate on all of them, so lets some of them go. So we're going to focus our efforts on the retiring baby boomer business owner. And when you meet these people in step 3 of the deal making robot, you're almost going to feel sorry for them. They own good businesses, but the individuals themselves are distressed. Some of them are burnt out, exhausted, and really frustrated. Some, sadly, are sick or even dying in some cases. And not just them, it could be a significant family member. Some of them have just run out of ideas. You know, what worked in the business back in the 60s, the 70s or 80s when they started the business doesn't work so well today. Some aren't even online or use social media and do little to no marketing. Business happens on repeat custom or word of mouth. So these are great deals because as soon as you introduce some real world marketing, the business is going to grow like crazy and make you lots of money. And it also used to be the case that dad or mum founded a business, ran it for decades, then they passed it down to the children. But that's really, really rare these days. Children want to go to college. They want to be doctors, lawyers, bankers, consultants. They don't want to take over dad's manufacturing or engineering business. And based on these issues, the seller's got 3 really big problems that we're going to solve. Let's go through them. So first, the natural step, if the business will not sell, is just to close it down. The problem is that's actually just going to cost the seller money. There'll be payables in the business, there'll be taxes to pay, there might be a lease on the facility, maybe even a bank loan. Now the seller will have to pay all these off, and that's money that they've saved up for retirement. So it's therefore much cheaper to actually give the business away for $1 and have the buyer, which is you, just inherit those payments. And closing down a business can be heartbreaking for some sellers. They're fiercely loyal to their employees, their customers, their suppliers, and for that reason, they stay in the business until it's too late. And perhaps the biggest issue of all is the fear of competition. Most sellers will not even list their business for sale. They're frightened of it being destroyed. And I'm sorry to say, it happens every single day. Employees and customers, they get nervous when they find out that their business is for sale, and some decide to move on very quickly. Buyers, who are also competitors, pretend to be interested in buying the business. They get all the sensitive data and they harm the business in the marketplace without even attempting to buy it. Those that do buy the business, they rip it apart afterwards anyway. They relocate it. They lay off some of the employees. They change the brand. They trash the culture and the heritage that's been built up over the years. And most sellers just don't want that. And just to highlight that point, I want to tell you a quick story. This was one of the first deals I did on my own back in 2008. I was actually asked to sell this business. It was a transport business in the UK. I was asked to go and get top dollar for it, and I was offered 10% of the selling price as a fee. I did my homework, I found several hungry competitors who were expanding, and I negotiated a really high price for this business. Everyone was happy, especially Colin and Alan, the 2 owners of that transport business. However, it all went downhill. The day before closing, The new buyer, who was a very large corporate, dropped into the site to let the owners know, Colin and Alan, that everything was going to change tomorrow when the deal was going to get closed. The name was going to change. Most of the employees were going to be let go, and the business was going to be relocated to their own premises more than 200 miles away in the south of England. The owners were absolutely distraught. There were employees that had been there for 20 years and more, and they just couldn't sit on the beach in retirement worrying about the employees that had been cast aside. And also, they were proud of their business and proud of their brand, and they wanted it to continue on. So I acquired it. I paid them some money at closing by financing the trucks, and then the rest of the money I paid over a 3-year period by just splitting the profits that the business generated. It was my first no cash down deal, and the brothers were ecstatic. They didn't get nearly as much money as the competitor was offering, but the deal allowed them to retire knowing the employees were cared for and the name of the business, the legacy of the business, would live on. And that's what this system is all about. So after that deal, I decided to do some market research. I built a database of business sellers, and I surveyed them over a 3-year period after they'd sold their businesses. There were nearly 2,000 of them in the UK and USA, and I did this research online. The results were just like Colin and Alan. 79% of the people I surveyed told me that upon selling their business, cash was not their primary factor. It was having someone that would look after their business, protect their legacy, safeguard their employees, and allow them the relief of owning the business and retirement in peace. That, ladies and gentlemen, is our target market. And you know what's really interesting? The sellers don't just have to be old and retiring, like a guy called Simon Cohen. Now, Simon was a really young guy, late 20s. Go and Google him and you can read about his story online. He built a great PR business in London called Global Torrents, and then one day he just decided he'd had enough. He was burnt out. He missed his family. He'd made some money. So he actually launched a national campaign in the media to give his business away. It was worth £1.5 million, and he literally gifted 95% of his business away to the person that he felt would look after it the most. Can you believe that? We can find hundreds and thousands of Simon Cohens inside of that 2.6 million target market of businesses. And here's how we find them. Now, I could spend hours upon hours sharing all my deal origination methods with you, but I want to spend the time now to touch on a few of the best ones. The first origination method that you should use is your network. So who do you know? Friends, family, people in business, intermediaries are a great example, like a banker, accountant, or a lawyer. Because when an owner decides it's time to sell his or her business, that's who they tell, the people that they're closest to. If you talk to these people, all of them know lots and lots of business owners that want to sell, but a lot of them haven't even listed yet, as I explained earlier, because many owners will refuse to list a business because of all the risks. Brokers are also a good source. For businesses that are listed for sale, there's thousands and thousands of brokers, both online brokers like bizbuysell.com, which has got 50,000 listings on its own, and there's also tons of local brokers who may also specialise in particular sectors and particular locations. If you search in Google for business brokers, then either your choice of sector or location in the search string, you're going to get hundreds and hundreds of results. Go see what they have. The key with brokers, though, and this is a warning, is only look at the deals that have been listed for 12 months that haven't sold. So they want them off the books, and they will actually help you get those deals for no cash down, because nobody else apart from you is going to buy it. My favourite method, and by far my most successful method over the years, is what I call the direct approach. That's approaching lots of businesses you like to inquire if the owner will sell to you. Now, there's a lot of psychology in this, so I want you to pay close attention. You start by looking for information. So there's a ton of free information online that will allow you to quickly build a list of, say, 100 businesses that fit your specification, that they fit your sector, your size, and you can look at the age of the business and the age of the owner. And some tools like Hoover's, which are fantastic tools to use, they're subscription based. They actually do cost a lot of money, several $1,000s a year, but you can get a free 72-hour trial to get all the information you need. That's all you actually need to do. What you then do once you've built your list is you write to all of those businesses, but in a very private and confidential way. And your letter builds trust, rapport, and credibility. I'm going to give you my perfect script and my tool for doing this at the end of the webinar. So what you do is you tell them in that letter what you like about the business, and you drop in information that you find out about them online and using social media. So it takes you about 5 to 10 minutes to do each letter. And the key is to tailor the letter to each business. And if you do that, 1 in 3 of them will come back to you. Those are the statistics that I and all my students are getting. Okay, homework time. I told you you're going to have to do some work, didn't I? Now, I want you to try this after the training. I want you to see how easy it is to get deals from social media, namely LinkedIn and Facebook. By the way, if you want a copy of these slides, I'm going to give you a link at the end of the training as well. So you don't need to write this down verbatim. You can have it in the slide copy. But first, though, I want you to take a moment to determine a sector that you know something about and that you're passionate about. And once you've picked that, it could be retail, manufacturing, engineering, transport, technology, could be services like web design, marketing, or whatever your choice is. Then I want you to go to LinkedIn after the training. I'm assuming you've got a profile, and I want you to model this script. I found 74 deal opportunities just from this one post alone, and I acquired a great engineering business from this, no cash down. So just copy this word for word. Just say, I'm looking to buy a whatever type of business within X miles of wherever you are, specializing in A, B, C, X, Y, Z, and between 0.5 million and $10 million in sales revenues. If you're in the UK, Canada, Australia, just change the currency. And then say, please inbox me if you know of any suitable opportunities. Regards, you. And send that email, that message on LinkedIn to your network, or you can privately post it inside of a group. So something linked to your sector of choice, for example, or your location. So let's say you wanted a web design firm in Chicago. Then on LinkedIn, there's going to be a group for that, or anything using a sector and location combination. And also Facebook, very powerful. People think Facebook is just somewhere to post pictures of you on vacation or with your friends in a bar. It's much more powerful than that. You probably found this training through a Facebook post, so you know how powerful it can be. And Facebook works like gangbusters in the $500,000 to $1 million to $2 million range, especially in retail or in services businesses, agriculture businesses, businesses like gyms, health spas, opticians, dentists, chiropractors, etc. And like LinkedIn, there are tons of groups out there, and they all have pages like this one, Small Business Saturday. So just go there and post something like, hi, I'm Bill, and I want to acquire, say, a small retail business in Chicago, and then wait for the responses to come through. It's amazing, and hardly anybody uses this tactic. So that's it for this particular video. The next video in this playlist will follow, and please check out all the other playlists and videos for everything you need to know to learn how to buy a business no cash down. In fact, I've crammed everything that you need to know into a special 90-minute webinar titled 3 Insider Secrets to Buy a Profitable Business Inside of 99 Days Without Cash or Knowing How to Run a Business. And here are the 3 big secrets, the 3 killer training topics. Think of these as hurdles to you becoming a business owner. First, I'll show you exactly what the 10 steps are to buy a business, and you must follow these in order. It's really critical. Second, I'll show you lots of case studies of deals structured using OPM, other people's money, and it's no more difficult than high school math. And finally, I'll show you how you can get others to operate the businesses for you, so you can do other things like spend time with your family or buy other businesses whilst enjoying the cash flow that your new business is generating for you. So to register for this groundbreaking training, just click on the link underneath this video on YouTube or type in this link into your browser. And I'll see you on air sometime in the next week. Until then, bye for now.